So guys, it's official, we're getting Angry Birds 3 releasing in 2027. It absolutely makes sense that they're going full steam ahead with this franchise, continuing it on. In recent years, I think we've squarely fallen into a golden era of video game adaptations. When you think about it, we've had hits like Sonic 1, 2, and 3 done incredibly well. Super Mario Bros. 1.3 billion at the box office, that animated movie. We just have Minecraft, which released and did incredibly well for itself at the box office. We've got an upcoming Zelda movie in 2027 as well. The Fallout series, the Last of Us series, and it looks like we may be getting a rumoured Fortnite movie as well. So it makes sense. We're in this kind of era, golden era if you like, of video game adaptations, and Angry Birds is a gigantic IP that a lot of people know. So it could do well for itself, continuing on the franchise, and it makes sense that they're making another movie here. But before we get going on this article and breaking down this information, let's go over and take a look at the other two Angry Bird movies and see how well they did at the box office. So going over to the numbers here. So the first Angry Birds movie came out all the way back in 2016. It had a production budget of 73 million and it made 352 million worldwide on a $73 million budget. So that's not actually too bad. It was profitable by the look of it there, so it did well for itself. Then we had Angry Birds 2, which came out in 2019. That had a $65 million budget and it made 152 million. So there was a massive decline there, unfortunately, from the first movie, to the second movie. Almost cut the figure in half, which is quite shocking. From 352 million to 152 million, it dropped massively. 200 million it dropped. That's crazy. And yeah, it looks like they weren't planning on making any more of these movies. But as I say, the hunger is there now for these video game adaptations. So this would be the perfect time to continue on this franchise. So let's go over and jump into this information. So when the Angry Birds video game debuted in 2009, it's fairly unlikely anyone immediately imagined it would make a good movie. The mobile game saw impressive success, spawning an entire series of Angry Birds going to battle with evil pigs. I remember, man, like, it was crazy. It was all over the place. There was like different versions. There was like Star Wars versions, and every time you walked into a shop, there was like Angry Birds merchandise, whether it's t-shirts, toys, stationery. It was all over the place. It was just huge. So like any wildly successful franchise, Angry Birds attracted enough attention to eventually be adapted into a movie in 2016. With a sequel a few years later, despite mixed critical reception, the films performed well at the box office and on streaming platforms. Now the Birds are back with a third movie planned for 2027 theatrical release. The Angry Birds 3 movie will be distributed by Paramount Pictures. This third installment will be produced by Rovio and Sega in partnership with Namit Malhotra and Prime Focus Studios, with support from Flywheel Media, One Cool Group, and Dentsu. Following the unprecedented opening weekend success of a Minecraft movie, Paramount Pictures has now confirmed a worldwide theatrical release of the Angry Birds Movie 3 on January 29th, 2027. Yeah, that's a big piece of information there. Following the unprecedented opening weekend success of the Minecraft movie. This is kind of greenlit video game adaptations for a lot of people. A lot of studio executives that have video game IPs under their belt, they're looking at this Minecraft movie and thinking, you know what? With all the success of the Fallout series, with the Last of Us series, with the Minecraft movie, with the Sonic movie, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, I know I've already talked about them, but I'm still going to go back into detail. With the success of all of these big gaming IPs, now is the absolute perfect time to bring back Angry Birds for a third movie and capitalize on this hype of video game adaptations, and it could do well for itself. I'm not sure how big it can be, but if it goes viral, kind of like what the Minecraft movie is doing at the moment, they could have a smash hit on their hands. Let's see how well they can do with it. So, they've confirmed the Angry Birds movie on January 29th, 2027. While that's still a few years away, much of the cast for this third installment of the series has been confirmed. The thing is, though, they've already done two movies. I mean, how far can you stretch the concept of an Angry Birds movie? I mean, like I say, they've done two movies, and you're going into a third movie. Where can you take the concept of flinging birds at a castle full of pigs? I mean, how much content is there to be kind of served? You know what I mean? Like, how far can they go with it before it becomes redundant? We'll have to wait and see if they can come up with something fresh, like a fresh, interesting narrative. The project was first announced in 2024 with Dookies and Gad immediately confirmed to reprise their roles as the lead characters. I'm sorry if I butchered those names. A quick teaser trailer revealed the film was in production, and that was about it. Since then, not too many additional details have been revealed. Until now, alongside the confirmation for a worldwide theatrical release in 2027, we now know that several voice actors attached to the project alongside the lead characters. So this is the cast here so far. The Angry Birds movie number 3 cast, I should say. So that's the cast list there. I'm not going to read through it and butcher all the names. Have a pause of the video and read it at your own leisure if you want to, guys, about the voice cast. Maybe you recognize some of the people that are voicing the characters here. So with that down, let's keep going. So we have a pretty cool picture here. I do love the designs that they did in these animated films. I think they look really charming. The colors are bright, they're colorful, they stand out. They're very charming movies, and the animation is really, really nice to look at. So I hope we get more of that in the third movie. So the Angry Birds movie 3 will be directed by John Rice, who also directed the first installment. Thorup Van Orman returns to the Angry Birds movie 2 to write the screenplay and will executive produce alongside Sonic the Hedgehog's Tora Nakahara. John Cuban, Dan Chuba, Carla Connor also attached to the project as producers. Again, I'm sorry if I butchered those guys. I don't normally read many names on the channel. So, you know, pause and have a reread of those names of the creatives behind the movie if you want to read those names for yourself. For now, we don't know much about the plot of the third Angry Birds movie. However, it's clear that several beloved characters from the first 2 movies will return for the third installment, and that they'll be joined by quite a few new characters. As the theatrical release approaches, it's likely we'll learn more about the story that will be flying to theatres on January 29th, 2027. Have you seen the first 2 Angry Birds movies? Are you excited for the third installment? This is the thing, I mean, with the diminishing returns of the first to the second movie, almost dropping in half, again, I can't get over that. It went from 352 million to the second movie 152. That's catastrophically bad, dropping basically in half, more than half, basically. Will it do the same again for the third movie, or can they come up with something inventive, something fresh, something unique that's going to get more people back on board? They're going to have to do some really creative marketing to make sure that this number doesn't drop even lower to the third installment. So let's hope that they can do that. But guys, I'm excited for this. I think Angry Birds is a fun property. I'm not necessarily the demographic. I think this is aimed at a younger audience than myself. But as a video gamer who loves to see video game adaptations done well, I hope that they can bring something fresh to the table. I hope they can make this a success, and I hope for the people that this is aimed at, that they have a great time and enjoy this franchise going forward. Because it's always nice to see these kind of franchises succeed. But guys, you hear this news, Angry Birds 3 coming to us in January of 2027. Did you see the first 2 movies? Did you enjoy them? And are you looking forward to a third movie? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the comment section. As always, thanks so much for being here. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave. Consider becoming a subscriber of the channel if you haven't done so far. It goes a long way to supporting the content, so I really appreciate that. And as always, I will see you in the next video.